Well, hello there, darlings. This is Phelan. It's just fascinating to learn about all the stories that are being told with these new creatures here at Etherreach. I hope you enjoy this next episode.
Previously on Etherreach. Standing there, completely naked, is a very tall tabaxi man. And he's gonna kind of, yes, can I help you?
Yeah, you locked your roommate out.
He opens it up, he sees it, and he immediately,
And she just scoops up a big spoonful. Remember, I was telling you about it.
I know this is so much. Like, do you know how precious this ingredient is?
It's just caviar.
No, but you are annoying my friend, and I do not like this. So
You just met the man.
I knew him from yesterday.
You knew him from yesterday?
Which is longer than how long you've known him.
You're right. He's also the prince. Princes can't have friends.
With that, and you key in on Karl more often than not.
Yeah, I do. I pay
You
attention
probably
to-
heard it, yeah.
You most definitely heard it then in that case.
And now Carl's back by himself.
Or at least the
smiling,
prince.
eating.
And I'm like, I did this. This is all my fault.
Before we get to you and Cedric, I want to jump over to you.
Mhm.
As you kind of do this and sit down, you look very happy with yourself.
Oh, there's more to it than that, probably.
What?
More, he looks happy on the outside.
I got you. Because as you sit down, let me see. I have a choice of 6 characters.
What's gonna be the most dramatic, Spenser?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out.
What's gonna be most fun?
Oh.
Drama.
The Wama.
Yeah, okay. As you sit down, and you're kind of in your food, and you're kind of sitting by yourself, you feel a bunch of people standing around you. And as you sit up and look around, Asher, Lyra, Maribel, and Asteriel all come up and sit down at your table.
Shit, you're getting jumped.
Wait, I'm sorry. I zoned
Asher, Lyra. So Asher the fuckboy, Lyra
Yeah.
the hippie, Maribel, Regina George, and
Asteriel.
Asteriel are all at the table.
Oh my god, it's
out.
the
And-
Stereo too, damn.
Jesus.
Well,
Mar-
they're a group no, they're not a group together. No, okay, sorry, I'm
No.
mixing them up. They're
Yes.
yeah.
Still a... Oof.
And Maribel kind of leans forward. She's like, "Hi, Karl. How are you?" Sorry, didn't mean. We just saw what you did and how you stood up to Cedric, and like, right? Isn't he a prick?
Yes.
No, he's a prince.
I mean, same thing, basically, right? And Asher was like, "Yeah, no. Honestly, back when I was like in New Haven, I was like growing up, they raised the king and like his family. They supported this tax hike on my family that made it so that our sales tax grew like 10%. Totally fucked us over when it comes to all of our shopping. It's ridiculous what they do." And Maribel's like, besides the point. They don't, I mean, you and I get it, right? Like, we're out here, we're trying to live our best lives, and the kingdom is just like all up in our space. Sorry, I'm rambling. You barely even know me. I'm trying to become, like, as I told you, I'm a big fashion design person, but I don't know. I've tried talking to him, and he just doesn't seem to like to listen to me.
Cedric.
Yes.
Oh.
And then you came along, and maybe just the right thing is to just kind of put him in his place.
Yes.
Is that what you think happened?
It definitely looks like what happened. I mean,
Probably
right?
does.
And they all kind of agree with you. Asteriel has said nothing.
Okay. Here's what happened, right? From my perspective. I have a nice guy who doesn't understand how things work coming up to me thinking that getting an in is going to get him in the same position I'm in.
No, absolutely not.
No.
But no, I'm
He's
agreeing
good.
with you. Yeah.
He's clearly good at what he does,
Yeah.
seeing as he could keep up with me, and he does something very similar to what I do. So I crushed the need to get in by showing him that it's just pointless because, one, they'll get embarrassed that you're trying, and two, they won't listen. And
Yeah.
Cedric proved my point by walking away.
They're pricks.
But that wasn't because Cedric was a prick. That was because I ambushed him. and that's what he wanted to happen.
No, he didn't want to have to deal with it, right?
No,
I mean,
Oren
he would have stopped and told. Sorry, like I'm totally confused about this whole thing. Like he would just have stayed and like talked to you and Oren. Like it doesn't. You have a different way of doing
that wouldn't have
business.
been good for Oren, because then Oren would have relied on him. Now Oren's going to realize he shouldn't rely on him or me. He should just go do his own thing.
And there is this realization as you're talking to her. Okay. Of like, something's not following with Karl.
Something.
And you see that Asher and Lyra are kind of like sitting there and they're following your logic. Maribel is not picking up what you're putting down.
Yeah.
And it is really hard to read Asterial. If you want to make an insight check, a pointed insight check against her.
Sure.
Okay.
I'm really good at those. -2. Literally in that one, the lowest I could get.
Wow.
Oh, should I do it? Yeah, I'll do it. Never mind. Asterial's totally understanding what you're saying.
Yeah.
And Maribel's going to be kind of like, regardless, for whatever reasons, you're against the authority. You don't think they're doing a good job.
Yeah. I can say that.
Yeah, so that's really all I'm saying, and that's what we're talking about.
Cedric's just the son of that authority, so he's
he's next in line. He's going to be the next guy. That's what I'm saying. Power needs to come back to the people, and we represent the people.
Jeez. Goodness gracious me.
I'm sorry. Are we all on? Are you all on the same page? Because I feel like I'm missing a crucial step.
Absolutely. Why wouldn't?
You're on the same page, pointing at Asher. But yes, you are. You're on the same page, pointing at Lyra.
Pointing at Lyra, and she's just kind of like, I just go with the energy of the universe.
Gotcha. You're on the same page?
Pointing at Asterial.
Yeah.
And she's like, she kind of sits there and she kind of thinks like, I am interested in seeing where they're going with this. And I really want to join along and see what happens.
So, okay. She looks like a military person,
Yes.
right? Okay.
Yes.
So, you're a strategist. So just explain to me that your solution for the kingdom right now is to rely on, and this is just me pointing out what I've noticed, a fashion designer, someone who's shopping and winking at people, a pothead, and a guy who's off his meds.
Oh, no.
And people thought I'm crazy.
Sounded pretty rational to me. Which I don't know if that says a lot about him or a lot
Failing
about me.
that unrolling persuasion check, Asterial's going to kind of sit there, going to kind of look at the rest of them and look at you.
Maybe you should learn the lesson that
and
Oren
she
just learned.
Without saying a word, she gets up and walks away. And Maribel's going to kind of, what the hell? We're trying to stick together about this.
Stick together about what? I'm not even on anyone's side. I mean, you're not even listening to me. Not only did I just go through this whole argument about not being subjugated to anybody, but I just straight up told you that I don't take my medicine. Yeah.
How did you create all the things that you created?
Because I'm fucking good at what I do, but that doesn't...
Right back at you. That's how I created all the things that I'm good at.
And you think fashion correlates with revolution?
It could be.
It could be.
Do you know... breaking out of this, Spenser knows that there are like examples of fashion designers that have like created things.
She created
before
the
she can like
queen.
list, I go to Asher and I'm like, okay, let me try to figure this out. Is what I'm hearing real?
What do you mean?
So according to my family, I'm schizophrenic. Now, I don't take my meds because even when I do, I still hear the voices. Because I'm not schizophrenic, I'm just crazy. It's not a condition. It's a personality trait.
I want you to make an intimidation check with advantage.
With
So
advantage.
Asher, Maribel, and Lyra are still here?
Yes.
I am proficient in that shit.
That's who you revealed.
Oh.
I rolled 2 17s, so that's 17 plus 9 is 26. And your instincts when hearing that you're dealing with a man whose voices can't be stopped by modern science despite being a scientist, is to recruit him?
There is a heavy, pregnant pause as Maribel says, "This is why we like to learn about each other.
So diplomatic.
Let's have a good day." And she's going to get up, take her food with her.
This shit is crazy.
As they walk
Wild.
away, as you kind of sit here in this haze where you're like, I'm all fucking crazy. You kind of look back down your food, you hear another as someone sits down in front of you, and you look up and it's Zafira. And she's staring across at you. She's like,
Who? Who's
Zafira.
Zafira? Oh, okay.
And she's sitting there staring across at you, and she just goes, "That was fucking hot."
Carl's brain just fractured.
and we're gonna cut there because the bell
new
rings.
voice.
We're gonna jump over to you.
What the hell?
That's insane. Before we start, Debbie's close to Karl, right?
Yeah.
Do you think Debbie would, after hearing like the perspective from Cedric, whatever happens, do you think she'd be able to infer your goal with that?
The goal, yes. I think the only thing that would throw her off is how bold it is, because he's usually a lot more reserved.
Right.
Because you don't realize that he is not taking the medicine that he swore to you and his parents he would take.
Yeah.
He is immediately stopped the moment he got it.
Yeah.
The first day of freedom, he went,
Oh, fuck that shit.
"It don't work. I'm not doing it."
Yeah.
So his inhibitions are gone. Are
But
back,
I'll understand the reasoning behind it. Like, I'll just know.
You would
who
get the
you are.
strategy because you know him.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
I fucking love Karl so much.
Awesome.
I literally looked at the camera before and went, "I'm sorry if you didn't like what I did." Character arc. Because I have to have an arc. I can't start perfect. Right?
Yeah. Yeah, because you're gonna end up so perfect.
Clearly.
You're gonna be medicated. You're gonna be moisturized.
You're gonna have a
thriving,
Medicated,
like-
moisturized, and masturbating. That's my 3 M's right there. We spell They look at Carl and they say he on that
hello.
plan.
I am Debbie, and I'm running after Cedric.
So you run after
can't
Cedric, and Cedric is kind of storming off, and he's kind of blocking out the world as you catch him walking down the hallway, and he's going back to his dormitory.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely doing kind of like, I'm not running after him, but I'm doing a brisk like walk run.
Right.
You're like one of those mall walker grannies. Just
Yeah,
walking.
kinda. And I'm, except my arms aren't up; they're definitely down. And I'm going, excuse me, and I'm gonna eventually, when I catch up to him, I'm gonna kind of like try to tap on him.
Okay. Before you get within reach of tapping on him, he kind of perks up and turns around. He gathers himself and says, "Hello, Debbie. Just getting ready for class."
Hey,
"Hi."
Cedric.
"Yes."
I'm sorry.
"Why?"
I don't know what happened, but I saw the reactions, and it's common that when people first meet Karl, that he just rubs him the wrong way, and I would love to know what I could do to help you feel better after that.
It would be fantastic if you taught him decorum. I do wish that perhaps you can tell everybody this. I don't want to be the prince here. I'm just looking to get to know my people.
Yeah. I get
And
that.
I have a higher level of standard of living than some of them, but that doesn't make them any lesser.
Mm-hmm.
It's just different. And
Privileged.
and he kind of puffs up his shirt and kind of puts it down, and he kind of says, "I know that you're understanding of this. You come from a similar background than I do. Not the same, obviously. But it's, as two people versed and having a desire for politics, you're going to run into people that just don't like you. And I would like to minimize that number of people as much as I can. And clearly I haven't done a good job yet." So I will keep trying. And, see you in class. I'm so sorry. Is there anything else that you wanted to say?
Well, I know you've been hanging around a couple of people, and I think that's a really good start. Have you tinked blueberries?
There it is. The final form. We made one passing joke about how they're blueberries instead of blackberries, and this is the end result.
Yeah.
And I started it. So I'm mad at me.
As you should be. I'm rolling with this.
I know. I noticed.
Because I would love to have yours.
Is that what we're calling these?
I don't know if everyone is, but I am.
Why?
Well, because they're so cute, and you could, you know?
Make a persuasion check with disadvantage.
Disadvantage. You, the charisma person, did so poorly.
Aren't I so cute, though?
You're
Okay,
fucking
so...
adorable.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh no. Oh no.
So she got
14.
She rolled a 14.
I rolled a nat 1.
You have a plus 13?
Yes.
Oh yeah, expertise.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
That was a nat 1.
And he's going to kind of say, I know that you're an artist, so I will assume that this is just creative liberties. I don't know if I can get behind calling it a blueberry.
Okay. Well, whatever you want to call it. Because, again, I know that we got off on the wrong foot, and I understand that you're having a hard time getting to know people. And, I mean, I don't know if I've really had the chance to get to know people yet, but I most certainly do want to make friends, and that hasn't always been the easiest for people like me. So I would love to bridge that gap between us so that we could be friends, maybe.
And I will be happy to do so.
Tink. See, it makes a tink sound.
It just makes a tink sound when we clink the rocks, though.
Yeah.
You tink like blueberry.
Yeah, you I didn't say that. Yeah, it's, you tink it. Because it tinks. And, you know, if you ever just want someone to talk to, I am always open. And again, I do apologize for Karl. I don't know exactly what he was trying to do, but, and I don't know, I don't know if it was that intense normally. I don't know what's really going on with that, but I will say that as far as Karl works, typically his motive, his reasoning isn't really what you think it is on the surface.
What I can promise for you is that I will do my best to keep you two separated in my mind.
Okay, that's fair.
And I'll make my own opinion of him.
Okay, just maybe keep an open mind about him.
Holy shit!
You're crying.
This is a fucking blueberry.
Yeah, we're still over it. I don't know if you were paying attention. Me and Mel are still on blueberries. I'm just silently laughing over here, staring at Mel.
Sorry, I came out of that. I saw that you had serious lines. Oh my god!
I knew you were talking about me, and yet I still was more like, I gotta watch Mel and see what's going on.
Okay, continue.
What was I saying?
Basically, you tried to convince Cedric.
I'm yapping.
And he said, I'll make my own opinion.
I'm yapping. I'm saying, please keep an open mind. I promise he gets better.
And he's basically going.
Yeah.
He's basically going, don't tell me what to do.
Yeah.
And so he will go back to his dorm. You will hear the bell call for class, and An hour and a half later, we're finally into the classroom.
Breakfast.
Why is it always breakfast?
Always breakfast.
We always just gotta start shit, huh?
Yeah. Sorry, guys. Carl's got problems. Bless you.
Bless you.
Bless you, Melron.
He's just a little crazy.
We're in the back of the class.
Continue, DM.
As the bell rings, you get into your first classroom. Everybody heads over to the classroom, and you are invited to sit at one of 5 tables that each have 4 seats around them. This is where most of the class gets their first look at Phelan, who is kind of wandering his way out of bed, and
Has clothes on this time?
What? He has clothes on this time. He's
Thank
basically wearing a short robe.
Question.
Never mind.
Does he, as a tabaxi, does he have the weird cat penis?
Make
With,
a
like-
perception check.
Fuck yeah. Let's fucking go.
Well, I'm gonna make a perception.
I can't wait for none of this to make it in the video.
Says you.
30,
Yeah.
bitch.
30?
Nat
30.
20!
Nice.
Jesus Christ. I brought this on by asking for the roll.
Yep.
Just waste him now.
Yeah,
Tell
I
me
know.
what he looks like.
Tell me what it looks
in
like.
detail.
Does
You-
it have the barbs?
You two
No,
are,
they're staring at a naked cat.
I'm assuming, taking a look at many pictures of a naked cat. You freaks.
It's like an unshaved cat.
You can't see. He has a robe that's covering everything. He knows his limitations. He knows what will get him in trouble. And so he has everything covered.
Okay.
However, you can use all of your imagination to imagine whatever size of cat penis that you want.
How dare you get out of that? We asked for a
you
legitimate
noticed
answer.
you noticed, audience, how we cut all of that, and it's just wah, zooming in on me staring at you.
How dare you get out of that? You sly dog.
Anyway, what's class?
So
Yeah,
everybody
so we're
walks into
seeing
class,
Phelan.
and you are directed to sit at a table with each of your study groups.
Right. Study
Um,
group.
and the 4 of you kind of sit around the same table.
Karl,
Hmm.
what happened this morning?
What do you mean?
What did you say?
Oh yeah, I did get approached to start a revolution.
Really?
Yeah, there's a whole
Okay,
clique.
Okay, well,
I think I ended the revolution. though.
I-
I don't really know.
good.
That's good.
Oh, before that,
A bunch of people.
before that,
None of them qualified except one, but that was weird.
you upset Cedric. You freaked out Orin.
Oh, I did hear a commotion over there.
What happened?
I upset Cedric and freaked out Orin.
What did you say?
Nothing new. I don't know.
Okay,
Well,
which
let's
bit
put it
was
this way. So Orin was like, "Can you get me an inn?" Which is dumb.
What's an inn?
Oh, it's an inn?
Yeah.
So, like, you know when you have
Okay.
a group of people, say you know someone who has connections to powerful people, and you want to join that so that you can be successful and in a better place. That's what he asked. That's what he asked to me.
Another
I
person
see.
to vouch for you, basically. So
Yes.
You can join.
But the problem is, coming from experience, it's not a good thing because then you're reliant. You know, you're not valued for your own talents. You're valued for the connections that
It's
you
not
have.
always a bad thing.
It, but
That's
it
different
is
from
in
the
our
polyatism,
fields.
right?
We talked about this,
Perhaps for your
Karl. You
field,
can
but
just
Yes.
tell
In other
them
fields,
this.
it is important to form connections.
Sure. I don't
Karl,
understand other fields, but the thing is, he wanted it. So what could I do to best set him up for
Tell
success?
him that. Tell him that. Spell it out for him. And if he doesn't get it, that's
Do you
on
listen
him.
to everything I tell you?
I mean, yeah.
You just lied right to my face.
I literally.
Make a deception or a persuasion check, depending on whether or not you're telling the truth, and you make an insight check.
So
Another good roll.
persuasion.
15 for me.
18,
Mhm.
bitch. Yeah, you kind of taught me a lot. Why wouldn't I listen to
Okay.
the things you
Let's
say?
let's put it this way though. He doesn't know me. He's
Okay,
fan.
then let him get to
he's
know you.
fanboying over me.
Oh,
Everybody, class is starting.
He learned the lesson once. He doesn't have to learn it again.
What is
This
fanboying?
isn't how we make friends.
Group 4, if I may. So sorry to interrupt the conversation.
Which professor is it?
Which professor?
Oligath.
Okay.
Oligath comes up to the front, and he's wearing a different but equally flattering sweater.
Hell
That-
yeah, he is.
Yeah.
All I'm
So
picturing is the sweaters that Neil from the Santa Claus wears. You know, the ex-wife's husband, who's the therapist.
I'm picturing.
Please put up a picture. I
Here's-
don't.
In post.
Right
Here's
here.
something that no one here at this table will get. I'm picturing my philosophy professor from last
Mm.
semester,
Yeah.
who always had this like academia fit,
Mhm.
and was like would wear this the vest, would wear the blazers,
100%.
clean.
I just have thought that Oligath looks like Fabian. Like just like Fabio.
Fabio.
Yeah, Fabio. Yeah.
Oh,
Fabio, but
Mm.
depressed.
yeah.
You're not far off. I wouldn't say the chin is that big in my mind. I'm picturing Henry Cavill, but with brown eyes
and tan
Nice.
with
and
longer
longer
hair.
hair.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then also with like a knit sweater that goes over top of that.
So
And-
Fabio with less of a chin.
Less impressive Fabio.
And as he kind of
B
says,
plus.
everyone, we're beginning. This semester, we will all be learning about the Roman Empire, just as a reminder. Everybody, please bring out your notebooks, and I'll begin my lecture on the Roman Empire. To begin, the Roman Empire was an empire founded on land. It was found approximately in 753 BC, and it ended in 476 AD. It was founded by Julius Caesar, who was the first Roman emperor, who ruled from his birth in 100 BC until he was assassinated by Emperor Nero in 44 AD. Yes.
But Professor,
Yes.
the Romans were from the underdepths. They were the first. They were millennia ago.
That's not quite correct. They
But it
actually existed just around the same time that the Egyptians did.
I mean, half of what you said
Who are
was
the
wrong.
Egyptians?
What was that?
Half of what he just said, I think, is wrong.
Oh.
Interesting.
Narine's kind of like looking around as if like,
This
Is-
this
am I
place
being
isn't
pranked?
about learning. It's about passing the class.
where's Ashton Kutcher?
It's about passing the class. So his answers are correct from my point of view. Whatever's going to get me an A on the test.
And he introduced a couple other fun facts about the Roman Empire to all of you, including that the Romans actually invented the fork, but they banned it because it was too fancy for them. And the last one that you all learned today is that all Roman empires were required to wear purple togas during Senate meetings because it made everybody look the same. These are among the most important facts that you're going to learn in your classroom today. This happens over the course of about an hour and a half,
Purple's so hard to see underwater, though.
and then history classes.
I have a headache. Wait a second. I laughed too hard.
I will, just because,
No.
So that's just all Carl's been doing as the class has been going
No.
on.
please.
No,
I've been sitting on this for a year.
not yet.
Okay, you
Well,
let me
wait.
know.
Are we gonna have history class
Yes,
again?
you're gonna have history
Not
class
yet.
again. No, I'm gonna overrule you as a DM.
Oh.
I hear you. I hear what you're trying to say.
But wait, maybe the second time would also be funny.
I
Bless
think
you. Bless you.
You're on thin
Um,
fucking ice, buddy.
Cigarette? All right.
I think the second time would be funnier.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Then I will. I see where you're going
Mm-hmm.
after thinking about it for a little bit, and that's where we're gonna end the class today.
I'm glad you
Can I
considered.
insight the professor?
Absolutely.
Can I also insight the
Does he have
professor?
the same type of feelings that he was feeling yesterday?
Yes.
That I incited from him.
Ooh,
You can check.
I'm gonna incite the same thing.
Nat 20.
I'm just
Come
inciting
on.
to see if he knows what he's talking about.
Come on.
I got a nat 1. He is breaking my brain.
I got a.
I have no idea.
I
what's
got
going
baby
on.
26.
26.
Yeah.
And what did you get?
Nat 20.
Nat 20. That's right.
We're getting so many.
He is
nasty
absolutely
comments
telling
right
the
now.
truth about the Roman Empire.
Oh, no. I don't believe him. I'm just broken. I just don't understand if, like, what I learned is wrong or what he's doing is wrong. But at this point, I can't tell anymore. I'm
Okay.
just too...
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Voices.
The voices.
You have no idea. You don't gain anything new from your insight.
About how he's feeling.
Yeah. You two look at him, and as he's teaching, you can see that he's very much going through the motions. This is something that he's tried to teach multiple times over. You are confused because all of these facts seem wrong.
Yeah.
This doesn't make any sense.
I don't even know who the Egyptians are.
Yet, in the way that he's constructing them, it makes sense if you think about it the way he does, but the way that he's thinking about them is wrong.
Yeah.
So,
I can't wait
You
for
are
her to
going
go into a
to-
library and like pick up a book.
All humans are stupid. That's all she's gonna think.
you are going to
Land humans are fucking crazy.
think about the way that he described his, and the way that you felt about his persona yesterday, and it still matches. It's a muted way of being, almost like a robot that's just going through the motions, having done it hundreds of times. That's what you gather. Is there anything else you're looking for?
Gage
No,
is
but I'm
the
going to
robot,
talk to him
by the
after
way.
the class.
What?
Gage is the robot.
Thank
And
you.
we're
I
gonna
appreciate it.
Get you, CJ.
Not if Karl gets me first.
With that, history class ends. You
Mhm.
get a 5-minute break, and then science class with Professor Miara comes up next.
So we just hang out in here waiting for...
Basically.
Okay, cool.
I'll go talk to the professor.
For
Okay.
5 minutes?
Yeah, for about 5 minutes.
I don't
Get
know,
up,
there's nothing to do. In
bathroom break.
5 minutes?
I'm just.
I mean,
You're so silly.
Melron wants to
orgy.
go talk to the professor.
No, you're so Sorry, continue.
In the future, we can skip over this 5-minute break. I don't care. But
all I'm saying, fish.
Unless anyone approaches me, I got nothing I'm doing in these 5 minutes.
you're not doing it.
I
Professor.
am gonna watch
Hmm?
the professor.
Okay. You go up to Professor Oligath as he's kind of packing up his materials and putting them all away.
I just had a few questions just to clarify some of the information.
Yes,
yesterday.
yes, of course.
What the
What is
fuck
it?
are the Egyptians?
When you were talking about the Roman Empire in terms of they all were purple to come across as equal to each other in
Yes.
the Senate.
Yes.
That changed when they switched over to the Emperor system, correct?
The Emperor system? Oh, I see. With the absolute monarchy, yes, that definitely existed. There was no check of balance against the Emperor in Roman society. It was called the Empire, after all. They switched over because I do believe, if I remember correctly, they needed to make themselves seem lesser than, which is why the Emperor then wore the only purple toga that was available.
So the symbol ended up changing.
Yes. Yes. These are the things that happen in history. As you look back through history, you can see the cause and effect between one traumatic experience for a civilization and the small, imperceptible ways that civilization changes in response to that trauma.
As I'm talking to him, can I insight him?
Yes, you can.
Hell yeah.
Is this the plot of Megalopolis? Is this what I'm learning?
You are actually
12.
12. What are you looking for?
Even just me talking to him about the subject, is he still like kind of going through the motions, it seems?
Very much so. He doesn't seem to be thinking about anything new. He's still in kind of like I know my shit, I'm just gonna
As he's
recite it back.
finishing his part, I want to quickly just glance at the classroom just to see if there's anybody watching us.
Debbie's watching.
I am.
Debbie's watching, and a couple other people are watching. You also draw eyes, just typically, so...
Because you're so purty.
Hard to tell if they're watching him or watching you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna shift so that just a little bit so that people can't read my lips because I don't know who has observant versus not.
I see.
Then I'm gonna ask the professor quietly. Are you all right, Professor? You seem distracted.
You say that after talking to him about the Roman Empire and stepping to the side, and he kind of... Yeah, yes. I'm fine. Bad night's sleep. Why do you ask? Is it that bad? Do I look that bad?
I would say most people wouldn't notice it now.
Okay. I'd probably just need a nap. Thank you for pointing it out, Melron. I'll take a nap in my office. Yeah. Thank you again. I'm so sorry. How are you?
I am doing fine.
Good. Are you enjoying your first day in Etherreach?
There's interesting people here.
There definitely are. In particular, your classmate, the Aquafarian, she has some work to do with history. Nothing wrong with that.
She perhaps getting confused with a different society.
I think that's where it's coming from, but it's hard to say for sure without talking to her directly. I don't have time for this now, but I can send her a text if more work is needed.
Well, I'll leave you be.
Thank you.
Take care, Professor.
Have a wonderful day. And
I'll go
he's
back to my seat.
yeah. This entire time, if you haven't noticed it already, you did manage to see past the kind of exterior that he had, and what you see is a tired, exhausted man who is down about something. And
Did
he
I
packs
pick
up.
up on any of that?
Yeah, you did. Not as strongly as Melron did. And,
Maybe not as intense.
Yeah. Melron got the brunt of it, but you definitely could see that, like...
Something came down.
Yeah.
And, yeah.
And Melron comes back to his seat.
How is he doing? The professor.
Well, he said he didn't get a good night's sleep, so...
And do you believe that?
It's not our area to pry. He's the professor.
Okay.
And Nerine, do you think it's possible perhaps the Roman Empire you're thinking of might be a different empire altogether, and perhaps it's just a similar naming?
Can I roll
Absolutely.
What are you rolling?
to see if possibly I might be puzzled?
Make a persuasion check, and you can either make a history check or an insight check on Melron. So a history check against yourself or an insight check against Melron.
14?
14?
Insight, that is 22.
So you try your best to persuade Nerine that she's thinking of a different Roman Empire. And you look back at Melron and you're thinking, I have to deliver this precisely. You can see that Melron is trying to persuade you that there is a different Roman Empire. And it's really interesting to see how education systems have differed between Aquafaria and the Kingdom of Escari. And maybe they have a different Roman Empire, but you're definitely sure about your Aquafarian Roman Empire.
Maybe you guys have a different one? I'm pretty sure what we had was the very first civilization, the Roman Empire, that was down in the depths. But
In the deep blue sea?
perhaps you guys have a different one.
Are you thinking of Atlantis?
What's that?
Make a history check on Atlantis.
That's a 4.
A 4?
Yeah.
Atlantis. Didn't Princess Isu talk to you about an Atlantis under the depths? Atlantis and Roman Empire don't sound the same, but Atlantis does ring a bell.
It does. Maybe that's where Queen Debi is from. I know she's not originally from Aquatheria. I do recall hearing in Atlantis. I think that's where the queen is from.
When's the
Because
science
she's
teacher
not
gonna
from
get here?
Aquafaria. She is from a different...
When's the science teacher gonna get here? I
Um,
want to move on to a different subject.
I wish I had any sort of inkling towards this, because I want to know. I want to know at this point what the fuck you're talking about.
Queen Debi, she's our queen. She's our king's second wife. Duh.
Second?
My mother was his first.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh no,
Lord.
my mom divorced him to marry my dad.
Wow.
I'm sorry for...
His loss.
No, it's still your loss. I don't know whose loss anymore. I'm giving up.
When you say this,
Cigarette?
Miara. When you say this, Miara walks into the class and says, "Good morning, y'all.
I forgot you're a science teacher, guys.
How y'all doing today?" And as she walks in, you can see she's wearing a skin-tight blue dress.
Beautiful.
Give the details of the dress.
Yep. We can cut this out if we need to. Titties, cleavage out.
So it's V-neck?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
But it's still under the armpits.
I'm imagining that both
So
Melron and I
sleeveless?
as the
A
boys at the
sleeveless-
table are just like
Sle-
looking
so
forward,
kind of
like
like
don't look at the
this
features.
vest.
Yes.
If you will.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah,
Right.
you're right.
Right.
Sorry.
Nice.
I'm gay.
Titties
Well, I wouldn't
out.
know that.
Mhm.
Titties out. As she like walks in, she's in these really high heels, like as she walks across the floor.
Pretty sure I've seen my mom wear that same outfit.
Fucking Venus flytrap.
Yes.
If I ever saw one.
And if you were to look across the classroom, all the men, except for maybe Karl, I don't know how you swing, are very distracted. And some of the girls, actually, now that I say that.
Which
Karl
girls?
notices that he saw a glimpse and went, no luck. Nah. No, everyone's gonna be staring. I'm gonna be the one good boy not looking.
Karl's like, I am gonna be special.
I have to be different.
And with that, the class begins, and I don't have any facts on science, unfortunately, so I
Cool.
can't give you all the wrong ones. But what I can tell you is that everybody there
So
is...
the sun rotates around the Earth. It's still round, but it rotates around.
Mercury
the
is
Earth.
actually a moon that rotates in the opposite direction.
Astrology was
What about
correct.
retrograde?
Yes, Venus, Jupiter, and Neptune were all in retrograde, to which Lyra is like, I'm gonna fucking nail this class. Meanwhile, Stellan is having an aneurysm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's like, for all those who are wondering, Daft Punk's Around the World was about the sun moving around the world.
And that's actually the sound that it makes. They just stuck a
Also,
microphone.
all the planets are donut shaped.
Yes.
Shut up.
Except for Saturn.
to know that.
Saturn has one bite taken out of it.
Oh, true.
No.
The
Forgot
top
about that.
left.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
where actually Apple got its logo.
It was an apple fritter donut.
And all
Yes.
maps are wrong, actually. Like, we look at it like, North America, South America, but you actually have to flip the whole thing upside down.
What the
It's
fuck
actually
is in
droopy
America?
down. Rome exists.
Yeah.
we're on
undersea.
we're on the 8th continent in this world, all right? That one in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Preach.
So-
Where all the
Pangola.
mutations go.
1945, they Shia Kazid, and we came here.
With that, we get to the end of our science class with all the same information, that approximate same
I
quality.
noticed that none of the men
information.
were taking notes.
Well, they were. They were taking notes. And
Mental.
The notes are just
Debbie doesn't have a
boobs,
pencil,
boobs.
so
You were gonna read my notes.
yeah.
yes.
Was
Okay.
Cedric distracted?
Was Cedric distracted?
If so, I can make fun of him.
Let me see. Make an insight check on it.
Oh,
Ooh.
I also want to make an insight on.
Fuck, that's an. Is it a nat?
That's a
fucking
one, yeah.
That's a
It's a
nat
nat
one.
fucking
I want
That's
to
a
make an
nat
insight
one.
on Corbin.
On Corbin?
Yeah.
Okay.
Corbin Blue.
Shit, the light is hitting,
Yeah.
is hitting him just right, and his freckles are fucking cute.
Get your head in the game.
I don't dance.
I know you can. Not
Get your head
chance.
I'm done looking at him.
Yeah. You look at Corbin and read him, and
I got
he-
a 23, by the way.
Okay, I figured.
We
The
know.
best you can do is a 14, or the worst you can do is a 14, something like that, right? 12.
Well, and that one is a 13. So.
On insight,
Oh, on
it would
insight?
be a 12.
It would be a 12. Still, it's not hard to see that he is one of the boys who are like,
Okay. Okay.
is he paying attention? I don't know. He's definitely staring at her though.
Mm-hmm.
It would be like him, Asher,
Shocker.
So he's just another guy that.
him, Asher, Lyra,
Lyra.
Oh yeah.
Elias, Seraphine, Maribel for a weird reason,
Probably
Seraphine.
the outfit.
Saren,
Seraphine's probably like, how is this medically possible?
Saren, Stellan, Corbin, and Phelan.
Stellan too.
Yes.
Grush is
yeah.
a good boy.
Grush is a good
Damn.
boy.
He
Grush is a good boy.
Grush
He is
best
taking
boy.
your tactic of not making eye contact.
Yeah.
We're both just looking down.
The only person who seems to genuinely be trying to take interest is Zafira and Oren.
Into what she's saying.
Yes.
And what, looking at her?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. They actually be trying. They are actually trying to pay attention.
They do be trying to learn.
They do be
They
trying.
do be trying.
They do
to
be trying.
learn.
They do
They
be
do be
doobie
trying.
doo.
They do be doobie dooba.
You also notice Cedric is one of those people
That's trying.
that's trying.
Cool.
Sometimes the titties are just too great.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
I mean, I love a good pair of racks.
There-
A good
Good pair of
at
racks.
a certain
a good pair of racks.
at a certain point it just becomes
Boom, boom.
You're like, I was thinking about barbecue ribs for some reason. A good pair of racks.
Sorry, what were you saying?
it's at a certain point it just kind of gets like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing? Like,
Science.
Do you understand the question?
and that's kind of Cedric's entire attitude. It's just like occasionally he'll just kind of go like, Jesus, okay, and then he'll go back to taking.
I must understand my people.
Right.
What are you looking for from Cedric?
I was trying to see if he was actually genuinely trying to take notes, but I rolled a nat 1
Right.
because I looked up and I was gonna try and like deduce to make fun of him, but the light hit just right across his freckles and like, fuck, he's cute. Fuck that.
Oh man, oh that's crazy.
Unfortunately, he kind of is. He's
Mm.
kind of.
That's crazy.
You think he's
How
cute?
dare he look all innocent when he's the prince?
Yeah,
He's not allowed to do that. He's got privilege.
He's the scum of the earth.
And also, unfortunately, you can tell through it that he is trying to be good. It's just a.
How dare he?
God
He's
damn it.
so
Gross.
cute.
Gross.
Melron, your
Privilege.
face is the same shade as your hair. What's going on?
No.
You might not want to stand up for a bit.
So with that, the science class ends, and when she's like
Thank God.
all done with the lecture, a couple of the boys go, oh. And,
Yeah.
I love
the
learning.
boys. Oh, man.
"Ah." And she's
They're
like,
gonna
it's
need a couple
okay.
minutes before they can
Don't
stand up."
worry. Tomorrow, I'll come back and I'll bring just all new material for y'all. Don't worry. I'll be right back.
Yeah, fab material.
Now,
I look at Karl's
everybody
notes
go
later and
along.
it's
It's
just
time
dick,
for
dick,
lunch.
dick,
It's
dick.
time to go off for lunch. Go
No,
ahead.
Carl's notes just occasionally have an interjection of like, what the fuck?
Alright, lunchtime.
Well, darling, wasn't that a fun episode? I do hope you enjoyed. If you'd like to hear more, you can always follow or subscribe to the Homebrew Studios platforms, available on YouTube or Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Ta-ta for now.